Fear kills more dreams than failure itself. Hi everyone. In this video we'll go through few problems related to arithmetic progressions. We'll go through first 3 problems in today's video and the next 2 problems in the next video. Let us solve this problem where we have to find 4 numbers in AP whose sum is 20 and the product of whose extremes is 16. First thing is we have to find 4 numbers in AP, right? Now we can assume that the numbers are, right? Let the numbers be a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d and a plus 3d, right? We know in arithmetic progression, the series normally starts from a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d and so on. It can also be a minus 3d, a minus 2d, a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d and so on. From both the sides. From this side also we can have a series. From this side also we can have a arithmetic progression series. Right? Now let's assume that the numbers are a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d and a plus 3d. Why we are taking this series is it becomes easier to calculate. I'll show you how it becomes easier to calculate. We can take this series also. We can take a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d, right, as the 4 numbers. But we'll take these 4 because the calculation becomes much easier when you take this particular series. That is a minus 3d, a minus d and then a plus d, a plus 3d. Now what is the sum formula? What is the sum formula? Because they've given sum is 20, right? They've told sum is equal to 20. That is sum of these 4 numbers. Sum of the 4 numbers is 20, which means a minus 3d, let's add up all these, plus a minus d plus a plus d plus a plus 3d. Sum means addition of these 4 numbers. When you add all the 4 numbers, it is going to be 20 is what the problem tells, right? So now let's add a plus a plus a. So it's going to be 4a. Now it's going to be, now if you notice, minus d and plus d will get cancelled. Minus 3d and plus 3d will get cancelled. Now all the d's have got cancelled, right? So we are left with 4a is equal to 20 because all the d's have got cancelled. This is the reason we took these 4 numbers, right? Had we taken this series, right, a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d, what would have happened is d would not have got cancelled. D would not have got cancelled and we would have got a and d, which would make the calculation tough, right? Now here what has happened, d has got cancelled and we are left with a, which means a is equal to 20 by 4. 4 will come this side, you will get 20 by 4, which is 5. A is equal to 5. So we have a is equal to 5. There's another thing that is given, product of extremes. They've given product of extremes is 16. What does it mean? Extremes are the first and the last number. Extremes are the first and the last numbers. Extremes are the first and last numbers, right? So this and this are extremes. That is the first and the last numbers. First and the last numbers are extremes. This and this are the extremes. Now product of this. Product means when you multiply these extremes, that is when you multiply a minus 3d with a plus 3d, then the result is 16. The result is 16. So let's write this down. Let's write this down. So product of extremes a minus 3d into a plus 3d is equal to 16, right? A minus 3d into a plus 3d is 16. Now we know the value of a, right? A is 5. A is 5. So 5 minus 3d into 5 plus 3d is equal to 16. Now if you calculate this, you will get 5 square minus 3 square d square. Remember this very important formula, very important formula. A plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. This is the formula. Nothing but when you manually multiply, when you multiply a with b, and b with a, and b with b, when you multiply this, you're going to get a square minus b square. You can try it out, you're going to get this one. So instead of always multiplying, it's better to remember the formula. So here you observe, you have 5 minus 3. This is like a minus b into a plus b, right? This is of this particular format. So I can write this as a square minus b square. What is a, right? A is 5 here and b is 3d, right? So I can write this as 5 square minus 3d the whole square, because it's b square. B is, instead of b, we have 3d. 3d the whole square, which is 25. 3 square is 9, d square we get, right? So basically we'll get 25 minus 9d square is equal to 16. Now this is nothing but minus 9d square is equal to 16. I'll take this to the other side. 60, it will become 16 minus 25, which is minus 9. Minus 9d square is minus 9, which means minus and minus will get cancelled. So what I can do is, I'll take d square, 9, I'll bring this here. So it's 9 into d square. So when I bring it here, it will become divide by. It's multiplication here. It's 9 into d square. When I bring it here, it will become division. So it will become 9 by 9, right? So 9 by 9 is 1. D square is equal to 1, which means d is square root of 1, which means d is equal to 1. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1. So we've got d as 1. We have got a as 5. We had assumed these are the 4 numbers, right? Now let's substitute value of a and value of d that we just got. We'll substitute here. Instead of a, we got 5. Instead of d, we got 1. So it will be 5. I'm substituting. 5 minus 1, 5 plus 1, 5 plus 3 into 1. This is nothing but 5 minus 3 is 2, 5 minus 1 is 4, 5 plus 1 is 6, 5 plus 3 is 8. So these are the numbers. You can verify if the answer we have got is correct or not. Sum of the 4 numbers. What was the sum of total numbers? The sum of 4 numbers is 20. So when I add up 4 numbers, I should get 20. Let me add and see, right? 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. What is 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8? Right? 6 plus 6, 12, 12 plus 8, 20. So we have got it. And the other condition was product of extremes is 16. That is, product of the first and the last element is 16. So product of first and last element, 2 and 8. When you multiply, you should get 16, which is proved. So second condition also is proved. That's why the series is correct. This is the way you can verify if the answer you've got is correct or wrong. Let's take this particular example where the sum of n elements of an AP is 21, 23, 25 and so on. The last term is not given. The sum is 384. Sum means total of these numbers. Total of all the numbers in this AP is 384. Find the number of terms and the last term. we don't know how many terms are there. And we also don't know what is the last term. Now we'll have to find both of it. What is AP given here? AP given is 21, 23, 25 and so on. And sum of these n terms is given as 384. Sum is total of all these terms is 384. Now what do we have to find out? We have to find number of terms, that is n. N is the number of elements, number of terms. We'll have to find n. And we'll have to find last term, L. Now, what is the sum formula? Sum formula is n by 2 into a plus L. A is the first term. L is the last term. N is the total number of terms. Total number of terms. Sn is equal to, we don't know what total number of terms is, right? We don't know this. This is a question mark. First term, we know first term. First term is 21. First term is 21. Plus last term. Last term we don't know. So let's leave it as L itself. We don't know. Sum is given. Sum is given 384. Let's substitute it. Sum is 384. To find out n, we need to get the value of L. Right? Without L, we cannot find out the value of n. Right? We'll have to use term formula. What is the term formula? Term formula is Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. This is term formula. So, let's substitute. Tn is equal to a. A is 21. N we don't know. D. What is d? D is, you can take the difference between two terms. Now, difference between two terms. So, 23 minus 21. 23 minus 21 is difference. That is difference between these two terms. Nothing but 2. We'll put 2 here. So we'll get 21 plus 2n minus 2, which is 2n. 21 minus 2 is 19. So now we'll take this and substitute here. Right? We'll substitute here. This is nothing but last term. So we'll get 384 is equal to n by 2, 21 plus 2n plus 19. I'll shift 2 this side. So I'm going to multiply. It's going to become 384 into 2 is equal to n into 21. 21 plus 19 is 40 plus 2n. So let me expand. 40n plus 2n into n is 2n square. 384 into 2 is 768. Let me get everything to one side. So I'll write it as 2n square plus 40n plus 760 is equal to 768. I'll bring everything to one side. So I'll get minus 768 is equal to 0. Let me take 2 as common. So I'll get plus 20n minus 384 is equal to 0. If I take 2 this side, it will become 0 by 2, which is 0. So it's going to be n square plus 20n minus 384 is equal to 0, because it will become 0 by 2, which is nothing but 0. Now here, how do I solve this equation? I have to get the values of n, right? How do I solve this? I'll have to solve this using formula method, right? What does the formula method say? X is equal to minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. This is for what kind of equation? It is for ax square plus bx plus c. If the equation of this form, then you have to use this formula. Now what do we have? We have n here. N, we have n square plus 20n minus 384. This is what? This is the equation that we have. What is a, b and c? What is a, b and c? A is the coefficient of n square. A is coefficient of x square. B is coefficient of x. C is the number, only number without any x. Now in this particular equation, what is the coefficient of n square? 1. There is nothing here, that means you assume 1. What is the coefficient of n? It is 20. What is C? C is just the number. Just put the sign, never forget the sign. This is plus 20, this is plus 1, this is minus 384. Always put the sign. Now we'll substitute n is equal to, we'll substitute this formula. Minus b, that is minus 20 plus or minus root of b square. What is b square? 20 square minus 4 into a is 1, into c is minus 384 by 2a, 2 into 1. So we'll get n is equal to minus 20 plus or minus 20 square is 400, minus into minus becomes plus, 384 into 4 is 1536 by 2. So we'll get n is equal to minus 20 plus or minus 1936. I'm adding these two, square root of this by 2. This is going to be minus 20 plus or minus, what is square root of 1936? Square root of 1936 is 44 by 2. This is, now you will have to split this. You have plus and minus here. Minus 20 plus 44 by 2 and minus 20 minus 44 by 2. Once you take plus, second time you take minus, both plus and minus, right? Now you calculate. 44 minus 20 is 24 by 2 and the other one is minus 64 by 2. So I'll get 12 here and I'll get minus 32. So what are the values of n? N is equal to 12 and n is equal to minus 32. Can I have negative numbers of terms? Can I have negative number of terms? No, right? So let me not consider this. Let me only consider positive number. N is 12. I can have 12 terms. Can I have minus 32 terms? No, right? I cannot have negative number of terms. So n is equal to 12. We'll consider n is equal to 12. We have found out number of terms. Number of terms is 12. Now what is the last term? We also have to find the last term, right? We also have to find the last term. Now what we'll do is, we'll substitute n. N we got as 12. So 2 into 12 in this term formula plus 19. This is Tn. N is 12, which is the last term. So this is going to be 24 plus 19, which is 43. So last term is 43. Now let's solve this problem where we have to find the sum of all integers between 100 and 300 which are divisible by 7. So we have to find all numbers between 100 and 300, right? Which are divisible by 7. Divisible by 7 means what? Difference. Difference is 7, right? Because in 7 tables, the difference between every number in 7 tables is 7, right? 7 into 1 is 7, 7 into 2 is 14, 21, 28. So these are the numbers, right? So every number, the difference is 7, right? So D is 7. D is 7. Now, what is the, first of all, to find the sum of all integers, what is the formula? Formula is n by 2 into a plus last term. A is the first term, L is the last term. N is the number of terms. We don't know the number of terms. We don't know the first term. We don't know the last term. We only know the difference. How do we figure out the first term? And how do we figure out the last term? Now, you know the range. You know the range. Range is from 100 to 300. This is the range. Now what is the first number between this range which is divisible by 7? What is the first number? Here you'll have to guess. Is it 101, 102, 103? Here you'll have to guess. Okay. So I'll roughly take 105. Right? Is it divisible by 7? Let's try out. 7 ones are 35. 7 fives are. Yes. So 105 is divisible by 7. So the first number would be 105. You'll have to guess this. Similarly, what is the last term? It should be a number before 300, right? It should be number equal to 300 or less than 300. Now what will be the number? Again, here you'll have to guess. Let us take 290. Let's take 296, right? Let's see if it's divisible by 7. 7 fours are 28. 7 twos are 14. No, it's not divisible, right? So let's take 294 now. Let's try this. 294. 7 ones are, 7 fours are 28. 2s are 42. Yeah, 294 is the number. What is the last term? 294. You have to take the number closest to 300. Closest to 300, which is 294. Now let's substitute. We still don't know what n is. Let's leave it like this. A we know. A is 105. Last term we know 294. So this is n by 2 into 399. How do we figure out n? Let's use the term formula now. Because we know the last term, we know the first term, and we know the difference also, right? Difference is 7. Now using first term, last term and difference, let's try to figure out n. So we'll go with term formula. What is the term formula? Term formula is Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. Right? First term is 105 plus n we don't know. Difference we know, which is 7. And last term we know. 294 is the last term. Right? So now using all this, let's figure out n. So 294, this is going to be 105 plus 7 into n is 7n. 7 into 1 is minus 7. So let me rearrange this. 7n, 105 minus 7 is 98 is equal to 294. 7n, I will shift 98 this side. So I'll get 196. 7n is 196. Therefore, n is 196 by 7 by shifting 7 this side. This is multiplication, it will become division. So I'll get 7 ones are, 7 twos are 14, 56, 8. So I'll get 28. N is 28. Let's substitute n here now. So Sn is n by 2 into 399. I'm just copying this here. So now I'll put n as 28. 28 by 2 into 399, which is 14 into 399. What is 14 into 399? 5586. So the sum of all the terms is 5586 and number of terms is 28. So we have found the sum of all the numbers between 100 and 300. With this, we've come to the end of this particular topic. If you have liked this video, do press a like and share it. Thank you.